Tin Cup's been working.
Then Tin Cup owes me some rolls.
And if I remember correctly from yesterday's session, quite a lot.
No. Connor owes me like 6 or 8.
Ah, Connor! It was Connor, yeah.
Tin Cup only owes me 2.
There we go.
Alright. So yeah, nothing blows up. You get progress.
Remind me quickly, is he still working on this
He's
disarming the bomb?
working on some classified materials.
It's interesting that an 11 is a shit roll.
Yeah, it's interesting that 11 is a crap roll for Tin Cup. No, 11 is below average for Tin Cup.
Well, considering you got a 1 and you still managed to get an 11 in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the best roll in the world.
No, but 12s are Tin Cup's average.
Yeah. 1s and 2s are Laz's for anything other than combat.
Yeah. Jeez.
Actually, yeah. 12 is literally my average on 2d6 plus my
5.
pre-tech bonuses.
Yeah. And you're not you would be average at 13 unless if you weren't as paranoid. Did Skype just freak out or something? No.
Yeah.
No, it
For
didn't.
me.
I thought it did for a second because everything just went quiet, and I was like, God dang it.
I'm doing
God damn it,
scientific
Bobby.
calculation stuff, so I'm probably going to be quiet.
Alright. So, let's see. What characters have plans that I can exploit and demolish? Yeah, let's start with Lazarus.
What am I doing?
Well, what would Lazarus be doing currently?
Well,
5th of February.
he's got back. That's the time by the time he's got back from the moon, right?
Yeah, you came back from the moon. Now you cannot get that song out of your head. Those damn
What
moon
song?
whalers.
Oh god, yeah. We're whalers on the moon.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor?
No,
Drunken Spaceman.
That's a whaling song.
no.
It is.
It's
Because
not
then-
the whaling song though.
It's also
That's not a whaling song for the moon.
it's also one of the best songs ever.
No, it's not a whaling song for the moon, though.
Whalers on the moon.
We carry our harpoons. What's he doing? I have no idea what he's doing, to be honest.
Well, I know what Salazar's doing. There's only 4 things he could be doing. Eating, working, sleeping, or mechs. Now.
Kinda.
Salazar, roll me a security roll. Just for, like, the quality of work you've been doing for the past few days.
Okay.
This could mean promotion or fired.
Oh my god. With what can I decide on what I wanna base? Like
The
what-
ability score off of? You can use anything except Constitution. And Charisma.
Okay, well, on strength and dexterity I still have +1, but how I'm gonna... Okay, so I will base it off... my strength.
Alright.
He's being imposing then, I guess.
That I'm trying to make people respect my authority.
Respect my authority!
Oh boy. Please don't make please don't make me fuck it up. Okay.
Better than average. Not good enough to get you a promotion, but The boss takes notice. And by the boss, I don't mean Francis.
Yeah, the sergeant guy.
Francis, by a transitive property, Francis can see everything.
Yeah, out of character, I know he does. For fuck's sake, stupid Windows 10 update. What the fuck?
You got Windows 10 as well?
No, the
Right.
window popped up trying to force me to do that, so I said to get the fuck out. Never mind. So yeah, I'm doing the usual stuff. By the way, like, do I get like some sort of, as the like soldiers or like people, like sometimes when there's like calm, they get the feeling that there's a calm before the storm, and they get the
Yeah, you've roll me a perception check. You get a +3 due to your soldiery background. This is wisdom based too.
Okay, so attribute,
Like-
wisdom, assist. So I'm gonna like input like 3 to assisted because
Yeah, don't write
my-
+3 because that will break the macro.
Yeah. I'm just assisted 3 because my military background is assisting me in my.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
So, yeah. So you get the feeling that sun's about to go down soon.
And he's like internally weeping. No, I am so far away from level up, and I won't be able to get like navigation to 0 and combat gunnery to 0. By the way, is it possible to like? Oh, that's why I wanted to ask. Like one of the days that, or maybe if the soonest chance I have to talk with Lucy, I will probably ask her like 2 questions. First one, if I find her, and if she's like willing to talk. The first would be like, are the mechs like can be used inside the station? Is it like technically possible? And the second,
Like, if she responds to the first, nah, they wouldn't fit through the hallways easily.
Titans did. But then again, I guess Titans are smaller.
Yeah.
got that? Okay, so that plan's go out of question in case something happens. And second one would be maybe not exactly to her, but as I look at the main frames of hulls of the mechs, is it possible to like fight in the mechs but not use the guns, but just use like unarmed techniques?
Yeah, you can punch with a mech.
Yeah, because I have combat unarmed 0, so that would be like
Yeah, you can
simpler
punch
for me.
things with mechs.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense because they weigh like what, several tons of metal. If you get hit by that probably should
Yeah,
have
and the
hurt.
force behind it is impressive.
Yeah, some like mech troopers from XCOM. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
so that were only 2 questions that I had.
Yeah, Laz, I've thought about it. Laz will be requisitioning all the needed things for the day, and then probably going to begin training on actually being able to pilot a mech.
Alright.
Because right now he's never actually been in a mech before, so
Alright, so when you get there, you see Salazar and Lucy just like messing around with the mechs, trying to like get comfortable with them. There is like more than enough mechs to go around.
yeah. For now, he kind of just leaves them to it and tries to see if he can work it out on his own.
He's a strong, independent man, and he don't need nobody.
He don't need no help from some white woman.
In case I spot him, I just like note and say like, good afternoon. What, I don't know what time of day it is. Or just simply hi, Lazar. If I don't spot him, I just continue. listening.
Lazarus would respond, "Shut up! I don't need your help."
I don't say anything about the help. I'm just like,
Lazarus just assumes you're trying to give him help.
Is there a role or?
Not really. It's just like if you have exosuit, you can pilot a mech.
Fair enough then.
I mean, yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, he'll just start fucking moving around. Yeah, he'll say hi at least to them both, but
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't want to start talking to Lucy too much because she'll start piecing it together.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So yeah,
So-
he'll go off to the training grounds and kind of. I'm assuming we can choose the layout of the training grounds, I guess.
Yeah. Right now
So,
it's
yeah.
just like large, thick, like pillars that like is like make a makeshift obstacle course for mechs.
Yeah, so as long as there's one, like he's got the training to do tight turns and like the combat maneuvers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he's fine with that and just work on that.
Okay. Another question I have, this one for Tin Cup. Are there any moments in which Tin Cup would have off time from working on the special project?
Probably a few hours here and there. Generally, well, either because he's genuinely just wanting a break or because people are coming and asking for his help with things.
Alright. So, would at any point Tin Cup like reconnect his workstation?
Yeah, every time he leaves.
Alright. And roll me a perception check then. Like, it wouldn't be too difficult of a roll. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
nice.
like, every time you reconnect, you notice that now, like, the cameras, like, don't turn on.
Well, I mean, they are physically powered.
No, they're not.
Well, yeah, because I'm specifically reconnecting everything in the room.
Like, even though you hook them back up, it's just not really connecting. Like, it's receiving power, but it's not active. It's not even in a passive mode.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, so at what points in the day would it be like a routine, like at such and such hour, at like between hours A and B, you'd take a break, or is it like sporadic?
It would probably be random.
Alright.
Just whenever he feels like, as ironic as this may seem for certain people, whenever he feels like he's losing touch with his humanity.
Well, yeah. Speaking of, like, Raizo would visit you occasionally. Like, he would just visit, see like how you're doing, like ask about like how whatever you're doing is coming along. Like, he doesn't pry about it. He just like general questions about like how's your day so far, and like how's your work coming along. It's like, yeah.
Tin Cup would probably ask him a few random questions here and there. Also, like microfabrication versus mechanosynthesis, and just like kind of otherwise innocuous things.
Yeah.
Half small talk, half genuinely, I'm having a problem with my project.
Well, he like when you ask about like you would ask about like the micro construction versus
Microfabrication versus mechanosynthesis.
like he like expresses like in a very roundabout way, because like he's not comfortable talking about like nanomachines in such a public area. like he, in a roundabout way, expresses that it's much more effective and efficient to use nanomachines to construct most of our materials.
Hmm.
And like he always like it's like on the dot, like almost exact every time. It's like almost an exact 30 minutes of like small talk between him and Tin Cup every day, like at least once. Like, and like he visits at like nearly the same exact time every day.
Tin Cup would make a note of it, but probably wouldn't specifically ask about it.
I mean, who cares? He operates on a very strict clock. It's probably part of his upbringing, you know?
Possibly.
But yeah. Like, that happens occasionally. Sometimes Connor will bother you, of course. Him being, like, working right next to you. Like, in the station, like, that's right next door.
Yeah. There's a conversation that needs to happen there, but
But
as
he's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. I get the feeling Connor's gonna end up selling his soul for a spaceship. But,
Yet he probably is.
yeah, so otherwise, Tin Cup is pretty studiously trying to, like, get this done.
And, like, maybe, like, as you're, like, getting done with your latest, like, break from working, like, a voice that you haven't heard in a long time, her voice, of course, just chimes in and requests, "Might I have a moment to speak with you?"
Of course.
I would like another opinion on humanity.
Very well.
It's
I'm currently...
mostly a bunch of questions about emotional being and other similar topics.
Tin Cup just kind of looks at... I imagine he's in a break room or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just kind of looks at one of the cameras and tilts his head. I am perhaps not the ideal target when wishing to engage in conversation of emotional matters.
But you are one of the only other artificial intelligence on the station that I haven't communicated this with.
Very well.
I have already asked several others on the station on their views, and I've been getting mixed responses every single time.
I feel this is expected.
And like after like a minute of quiet, she kind of asks, "How would you define love?"
Tin Cup stares for like half a minute and then he brings his arms up on the table and folds his fingers and kind of like gets this really intent look where he's just looking over the tips of his folded hands and just seems to be really intently staring at this random section of wall. And this goes on for like a good 3 minutes. And Tin Cup looks back up at the camera. A scientific quandary. Something that words cannot express, that cannot be measured, cannot be explained. Something where rational thought, logic, reasoning is secondary. Emotion. Pure, raw, uncontrollable.
Many of the others have used words such as lust, infatuation, and romanticizing when describing that same emotion. Your response, however, seems fitting. I'll have to ponder this.
If human history teaches us anything, it is that humans are quite obsessed with the idea of love. And they are also quite inept at the concept. However, general consensus seems to be, don't think too hard about it. I believe the phrase is, do what feels right.
And like there is like a pause again, like similar to the one length of the one where you were thinking about your first response, and then you just get, that is what, well, it doesn't matter who said it, but you sound exactly like him. Well, forgive me for interrupting your break.
Not at all. A pleasant conversation is always welcome.
You do not need to worry about me observing your actions. I have other necessary things to observe. There has been incidents of a sporadically intriguing nature. Reportings of an interesting person showing up every once in a while. If you happen to see, and then she lists off a description of like a tall, like 6'2" human male, like very nondescript actually, like brown hair, blue eyes, like
Does this match the picture I have of the psychic who saved the one that attacked everyone in the observatory?
yes, actually, like,
Okay.
and like if you ever sight this person, this man, at all, please report it immediately.
Understood.
It's very worrying.
Psychics are fascinating, yet here we see an example of why they are very dangerous.
Have you met the Dresdens?
I do not believe so.
Hmm.
Though if
Mrs.
memory serves, former officer Oren has some form of connection with them.
Yes. It would seem that this psychic, this man that I've just given you the description of, that you are going to be looking out for, I presume, is on a much grander scale of power than that of Mrs. Dresden, who is the topmost psychic in the known universe.
Tin Cup's eyes, like his iris lenses zoom in. Fascinating. And worrying.
Very much so.
And Tinkup, like, it's not quite thinking out loud, but it's sort of like, I mean, that's the basic idea, but with an AI, it would kind of have to be purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
But like he basically just says to himself, like, looking into sci-tech would be a rather extensive diversion from my current project.
Looking into such matters is a very worthwhile endeavor. It allows you to understand humanity a little better, especially the psychic community.
Indeed.
You are familiar with Dr. Dryak and Dr. Long, I assume.
Correct.
They are afflicted by metadimensional extroversion syndrome as well, giving them uniquely suited powers for their field. It's rather intriguing, the variations. Their powers are as unique as the individuals themselves, it seems.
Perhaps that is the point.
If you will, tomorrow at 1400 hours, I wish for you and several others who I will speak to observe an interesting bout between two individuals on the station. It will be in the training field that you guys participated in a few days ago. I believe it shall show a bit of how frightening individuals can be at times. But it will also reveal a few other things, I hope. Thank you for this conversation.
A thank you is unnecessary. I am always happy to converse.
And like after this, you get no more voices.
Tinkup just nods at the camera. Good day, madam.
All right.
And goes back to watching Transform.